story that Justine read. Have you heard it before? Has anyone not heard that story before? It's kind of, you hadn't heard that story? Okay. Well, most of you, that part, Prodigal Son, the forgiving father, that part is kind of in the cultural consciousness a little bit. But what happens next? Does anyone know what happens next? What's that? Almost. After the prodigal son and the forgiving father, we have the whiny brother. And anyone who has a brother knows that sometimes brothers would say, not fair, not fair, not fair. And this brother does that. The brother who does everything right, it's just not fair that the slacker brother comes in and gets all the love. So let's hear the rest of the story from Luke. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field working, doing jobs. When he returned home, he heard music, he heard dancing in the house. And he asked one of the servants, what's going on? And the servant said, your brother's back, and your father has killed the fattened calf. We're celebrating because of his safe return. The brother was angry. Wouldn't go into his own house. His father came out and begged him, but the brother replied, all these years I've slaved for you. Never once refused to do a single thing you told me to. And all that time, you never even gave me a young goat for a feast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours, not my brother, when this son of yours comes back after squandering your money on prostitutes, that's in the Bible, you celebrate by killing the fatted calf. His father said to him, look, dear son, look. I imagine like holding onto his shoulders. Look, dear son, you have always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead, and he came back to life. He was lost, but now he is. That's where it comes from. That's where the song comes from. Just so we're clear, just so you know, the father in this story, the perfect parent to all creation, but both of them, they do not wait for us to get our junk together until they love us. We think that sometimes, that we have to get all of our stuff fixed, and then we deserve to come back. But the Father here, and God, to all people, people who blow up their lives, they run at God runs after them. It doesn't make you crawl back, doesn't make you earn a second chance. They run to anyone who wants to get their life back on track. Is that good news, amen?
Amen.
Absolutely. And if you get nothing else today, take that home, that this is a place for you to be with your Creator while you get your stuff figured out. This is not a club for people who have their lives tied up in a nice little bow, like the older brother. Which is great news for many of us. But don't miss this either, the second part of the story. That father, he is also right there for the son who does have it all together. Except when you look a little closer in his heart, there's some jealousy and resentment, and he thinks he's perfect, and he thinks he has to do enough. And when you look deeper inside, we all have issues like that. But still, the dad loves the messed up son just as much loves the guy who's tried his whole life to toe the line. The guy who's gone to church and followed the rules. The guy who has tried his whole life to grow up and be perfect. Isn't that good news also? Amen? Amen. The Father in God reaches out to everyone caught up in their own perfection and everyone caught up in their own imperfection, because grace is everywhere. Grace is everywhere in the world. That's what this story is about. The point so often with stories in the Bible, with the way I reflect on my life, with the holy wisdom from men and women in this church and in the church forever, is that grace follows us everywhere. Now, Jesus pictures that, forgiveness, mercy, second chances. He pictures that like a father, which is odd. Actually, wouldn't it have made more sense culturally for his time? I mean, not to mention our time, but for his time, where dads were like so-and-so and mothers were like so-and-so, wouldn't it have made better sense for Jesus to tell the story that mother comes and kisses the boo-boo? That mother runs and cooks the meal for the kids? Wouldn't it have made more sense with their stereotypes, maybe ours, that moms hug and sing and dance while dads sit in a lazy boy and tell you what to do and run? That's not how the story went. This is just my guess. Maybe Jesus told this story, maybe because his stepdad Joseph was that rare man who was gracious and calm and loving, rare for his time, not speaking of ours. Maybe. Or maybe Jesus made this connection between dads and grace because he knew that so many people he met had angry dads, unforgiving dads, So many people got stuck in that stereotype that Jesus wanted to imagine God like this to shock them into other ways into thinking about God. I mean, picture the story in the Middle East 2,000 years ago with the robes and the male-dominated society and family honor and expectations about being tough. And Jesus tells a story about a father pulling up his robe and running, blubbering with tears to forgive and welcome. There Jesus goes, challenging our assumptions about gender and about strength. But that's not all. That's just this story. We got a lot of other names over there. One of those names, Almighty. That's the one that I had to get for you when we were getting close to the brainstorming. The Hebrew for Almighty is El Shaddai. The English connotation of Almighty is about might and strength and power. When you get to the literal of that word in Hebrew, literally, depending on the context, it means mountain, which is strong and powerful, or destroyer, which is really powerful, or guardian, which is also really powerful. All those are great when talking about tough guys and tough gods. Except the etymology of Shaddai, before it was attached to any Hebrew gods, the root word, before there was even a Hebrew language, the root word that lands in this context, does anyone know what Shaddai meant, what the root word for that is in the languages before Hebrew? Breasts. God of the lady bits. Almighty means feminine God. Feminine God means almighty. What was that about challenging stereotypes in the Bible? It must have been so confusing to men then who they knew they were in charge. They knew that they could have strength and prove it anytime they wanted. They knew their status, and all of a sudden, God is named for something so distinctly feminine, challenging their assumptions about power and culture. How's that for Father's Day? But that's not all. What about Lord? Who came up with Lord? Who said that one? Okay, Fiji, Lord. I can't stand that word. It drives me crazy because I don't live in a world where there's lords and vassals and slaves and serfs. Does anyone else live in that world? I don't live in the Game of Thrones where there's lords. But the Bible has that word all the time, so I have to reach out and touch it. So in a world, their world, where people literally deified their political leaders. Maybe that's completely foreign to our world now. But in their world, people deified their political leaders. Everyone lived under a supreme Lord. To envision then God as a Lord, not Caesar, not a president, God as a Lord, Adonai, Kyrios. God is this ultimate caretaker of all governments, all nations. What a challenge to their sense of who is in charge. What a challenge to their sense of what it means to be in charge, to have God as Lord. But that's not all. You get more names for free. The one in the top corner there, Yahweh. Take it all the way back. That is God's name. When Moses asked so long ago, say, well, God, what's your name? God says, Yahweh. And what does that name mean? Someone said, what does the name mean? Emmanuel is God with us. Yahweh is something like, I am what I am, I will be what I will be, I will become what I will become. It's not a noun. It's barely a verb. In Hebrew, the verbs don't have tenses the way English does, and so sometimes a tense can just float everywhere, and this doesn't have a tense marker. So Yahweh is just this mixed up, floating sense of time. What is going to be what is. That's God's name. Not a boy's name, not a girl's name. And when Moses first heard that word at the burning bush, if you put yourself in there, he'd grown up his whole life, probably 30 years, something like that, surrounded by wealth, surrounded by power. All of a sudden, he gets this little insight of injustice. He gets caught up in violence. Now he's exiled. And what's he doing? He's stumbling through the woods with someone's sheep. And that's a 10-year-old boy's job. I mean, this is a grown man doing a 10-year-old boy's job. He must have thought his life had fallen down some spiral. It was so empty. What was next? What could he do? More than that, he might have been thinking that all life was just one pile of junk after another pile of junk. I mean, he meets this woman and dad, and they're in the desert. Who knows how they keep their sheep? But all life is despair. And in the midst of that, in the midst of a place where he deserved to be depressed, I get it. If Moses didn't want to get up in the morning, I get it. You go ahead and sleep. You've had a pretty rough life. But in the midst of that, God comes along and challenges all his negativity about his life and the whole world. Says, no. It's not over. You aren't done. Life is becoming what life is becoming. Hold on to hope because I am doing something new. The world is going to be better. What a miracle it would be to hear that in a time of deep depression. Yahweh, they had this idea about it that, well, their whole existence as Jewish people for this beginning of time till forever seems to be oppression and danger, and it seems like everything is out of their control, and then God says, no. That's not what existence is about. That's not what you were about. I define life as I defined life, and I will make something better. My name, Yahweh, is a challenge to any giving up. If God is who God is, then all brokenness must be healed. But that's not all. There's lots more names on there. In fact, Yahweh, even deeper in English, in English we have these things called vowels. Ancient Hebrew didn't have that. And so really it was just Y-H-W-H. And the way you'd say that in Hebrew is Yod, He, Va, He. Let's do that all together. Yod, He, Va, He. Keep it up. Yod, He, Va, He. Yod, He, Va, He. Is anyone getting dizzy? It's like you just keep breathing. You just keep breathing. You just keep breathing. That's the point. Breath is life. His name, her name, its name is breath. It's life. Some people speculate that the word Yahweh, all these soft consonants, pick a consonant softer than those, I don't know. That name is just about the power of life expressed through language as best as we can. Some people speculate that the name of God is this ultimate challenge to any death and despair because it's just breath coming out. Just saying it is this rhythmic exercise in being alive. What about the word in the middle? God. In Hebrew, the formal way to say God is Elohim. And Elohim is a plural. It's kind of like a royal we. We are giving a great sermon right now, right? And in God's name, that is a royal we. We will make humankind in our image. We will make them male and female. That's in Genesis. And that sure shoots down any idea of God as only masculine, only a father. We will make humankind in our image, in male and female. In fact, some people, the plural name Elohim challenges any sense that we should ever have a God of binary genders. Based on the word God, it's not precise. It's fine. Some people do it. Jesus did it, to use the pronouns he and him for God. But it's just not precise based on the word God. Maybe thee and thou, some people do that, but really the best way to do that, the best pronouns would be they and them for God. Or maybe if the word God is so itself distinctly non-binary, what does that say about God's own self? The nicknames we've talked about challenge any toxic masculinity. They support a more nurturing masculinity, beside a powerful femininity, beside plenty of just asexual metaphors. And what can you say about the Trinity? Trinity, we've got Jesus, a man, alongside Spirit, which is non-gendered in Greek and gender-fluid in Hebrew, alongside God, the name of which is a verb that doesn't even land on the gender spectrum, the word for which is clearly inclusive of all genders. Is that an accident of language? Or is it possible that God and the holy men and women who told these stories could still be telling us now? They might be telling us to be careful about the ways we think it is to be manly or feminine. Maybe God is telling us that those cultural ideas can get us stuck. Maybe they're calling us to break down the systems that are based on those distinctions. Maybe they're calling us to embrace all the complexity that God has created. Or God just wants to throw as many metaphors as God can to us, as many parables to us, so that we know in all things we are never alone. We are never defined by our rebellion or our perfection. We are never defined by how society labels us, never defined by whatever boxes people might put us in. We are simply loved and embraced, children of a holy one,